Once or twice in every century, a personality is thrown up whose strength, magnetism and sheer style has a lasting effect on society. Our age has thrown up my next guest. Ladies and gentlemen, Dame Edna Everage.
The same to you.
I'm absolutely stunned.
I look a bit like a living test pattern, don't I?
Is this the new Dame Edna?
It is my little spunky punky look. I'm going to say I can get away with it before you do, Michael.
I think it's extraordinary. David, what...
It's excessively trendy. It's beautiful.
And yet it's got a certain style, don't you think it has?
I mentioned style when I introduced you, and people have copied you for years. Do you think this will...
People copy me slavishly, but I've got a very young following. I have a lot of young people who'll be turning over from the match of the day to watch me here now. Because I do. I've got like you, I've got a lot of young people who adore me. I'm a bit of a role model. You know what that is, don't you, Claire?
Would it worry you if I copied you? Because, I mean, I'm not exactly, you know...
Well, Claire, we could run something up for you if we could find a fabric. You look a bit like a sort of dropped-out British Caledonian hostess. I heard you talking about transvestites. Isn't it sad about them? What sort of homes do those poor people?
Oh, it's not that. It's something you're born with. It's like whether, you know, it's just the luck of the draw. I mean, some chaps are born with beautiful legs, and some women are born not to be beautiful. It's just the luck of the draw.
To hide them, I suppose.
Yes, exactly.
I think it's a funny word, though, isn't it? Transvestite, a bit like stalactite, isn't it? I suppose there are transvestmites as well. I mean,
there's some mighty
up,
good ones.
One droops down and the other goes up.
There is more of the average leg on show than we have seen for some... I'm not surprised. I mean, they are quite lovely.
Well, I'm told I've got lovely legs. And I think I have... I didn't look down for years. I don't think... I don't think I ever looked down until I was about 30. And what I saw, I liked when I did.
Do you have any off-the-cuff or off-the-wrist... Do you have any advice as far as glamour is concerned for the young women who are watching us now? You have a young following.
Well, I do. I have a young following. I think just wear what you feel comfortable in. I think you're an object lesson in that, aren't you, Claire?
Oh, very comfortable.
It's more or less a travelling rug you wear. I think little Claire Rayner is a good news type of person. You've got a big fan here. Mind you, I was a wee bit disappointed. Forgive me, disappointed to see you two. But I have a research assistant, my old bridesmaid, Madge Allsop, as a matter of fact. And she told me that Princess Rayner was going to be on the show. I was expecting a Carol.
Well, apart from poor Madge, I mean, do you need any professional help at all in your work or in your style?
Well, I don't really. I mean, I've got a manager, Barry Humphries, but you know what managers are like. Practically useless, aren't they? They are. No, I'm very much a free agent, Michael.
But what about for your appearance? Is that entirely...
Oh, well, no, I'm a hairdresser. Well, I do it all more or less in the family. I keep it in the family. You can't trust hairdressers these days, Claire.
Well, it all depends on what you want them to do, of course.
You have to be very careful who fumbles with your follicles, as Princess... Little Princess Di will confirm. You have to be... They talk, and I don't ever, you know, except on nationwide television, I never tell intimate things about myself. I don't. Mind you, Princess Diana's very, very... Well, she feels she can trust me, and I'm not certainly going to divulge any confidences on this show, except I know when she's going to have another little baby. She's told me that. She has.
Can you tell us?
No, I couldn't, and she's also told me who the father is going to be. I couldn't, and I give a lot of advice to people, Claire, a lot of people, but I never charge for it like you do.
I must ask you, because I get a lot of letters from ladies that you have a young following, I know, but ladies of your age who are dying to know how it is you're looking so well when you're obviously going through the menopause, love. I mean, how do you cope so well?
I could have passed through it and not known it, Claire. In fact, I think I did. That's something that'll never affect you, little David, little gypsy that you are. I'm not wearing real jewellery. I heard I was going to be sitting next to a gypsy. You never know what they get up to. No, Claire, I'm going to come back to you.
Oh, good, because I do want to know.
No, I think that sometimes it affects some women a lot more than it affects others, that little time of life, and I think it's a lot to do with your attitude of mind. Don't you ladies watching? I do. I'm very pleased. Back to the question. I'm mulling it over.
Yes.
But I'll be very, very pleased indeed to know that you've made the decision to do your show only once a week, my darling, because the opposition, I believe, are going 3 times a week, and it's too much. I think once a week is quite enough. Most women will agree with me there.
You'll be keeping yourself off that particular round of shows, will you?
Once I've been on one show, they all want me, of course. Same with you, I imagine, David, and to some extent you too. It's spooky, isn't it, that I'm not plugging anything. I don't suppose you are either, but here I am on this show. I'm not selling a book or a hit record. I'm just here. I'm just giving of myself. I can't understand it sometimes. My tax lawyers, they ring me up. They say, what the dickens are you doing the Aspel show for? And I say, I'm sorry. I've just got so much to give, so much to share. I'm sorry, that's all.
Well, it's gratefully received, believe me. Can I talk again about beauty? Because I'm surrounded by it tonight. And David is the only one here who certainly has not approached the menopause. And,
he's also the prettiest.
Yes, he is also a devilish handsome lad.
Oh, darling.
But without any help, you see. Without any help at all.
None at all.
Help?
Would you ever, Dame Edna, resort to, surgery of the cosmetic kind?
No, I wouldn't. I believe in cosmetic surgery, and I've recommended it to a lot of people, Claire. My bridesmaid had herself landscaped. She did. She did. Oh, they do a few little nips and tucks, wouldn't you? You anyhow. Particularly with a high neckline like that, darling. The problem is sometimes unravelling in the bath by accident.
What about the rest of the family, though? I mean, how are the children getting on? You were rather worried about one.
I'm worried. I'm a caring and concerned mother. I'm sorry, but I am. I'm terribly sorry, Michael, but I am that sort of a person. I've had my problems with the children, David. Are these your Jim Jams, are they, darling? I love the neo-60s look, don't you? However, my son Kenny designed this for me. He does my hair too on the phone.
Kenny did it.
My son Kenny.
Ah.
And he designed it, and I think it's very good, isn't it? Really, it's it's the acceptable face of punk. I was a bit worried about Kenny because he's been very, very slow in finding Miss Right. But he's taking his time, bless his heart. Then my daughter Valma, of course, who's a real worry with the glue sniffing, I'm afraid. No, when we went out, we had to hide the glue. Sometimes it took us half an hour, 2 hours, just hiding it. I could never find it again, that was the problem. I put some of it in the cistern once, I remember. And years later, we found a skeleton sitting on the lavatory. Norm's marvellous, and he's jogging now. He's gone to Mustique to recuperate a bit. He's down there. Princess Margaret will probably see him when she's there. He jogs along. He's very conspicuous. There's a man following him with a drip. There he is. Oh, gee, Princess Margaret must be used to seeing a few little drips following her.
But with Norm being for so much of his life incapacitated and now jogging...
Shouldn't laugh, should we?
No. Now he's jogging in the steak. I mean, you've had a lonely life. You've trod a lonely path. Have you been tempted elsewhere?
Of course I have. I'm human, I've got drives, Claire, I've got juices, naturally I have.
What have you done with them?
I've sublimated it, Claire. I have, because just marriage is too important for me. Norm's a darling, he really is. He's being a bit naughty, getting better, but he is a darling. And I have my bridesmaid, Madge Allsop. She's very demanding, you know. She's a naughty old thing, really. Some people say, you know, behind every successful woman is a snivelling failure, and she's one of them. She can't help it, you know. She supports me in many, many ways. Funny little ways. She's lurking back there. I'd like you to meet her. You could help her such a lot, Claire.
Do you think so?
Oh.
But surely you must have had other offers from men, I mean.
You're persisting in this
Yes.
theme, aren't you?
You're looking so
Have
ravishing.
me repeating on television what you said to me the other day, Michael Aspel. Oh, I don't want to be Mrs. Aspel number 4. Thank you. No, I'm teasing viewers, I am. Michael and I are very, very platonic, or I wouldn't be on the show. But I take it all with a bit of a grain of salt, because a lot of people find out, I think to myself, isn't it nice they think I'm approachable? You see, why haven't I got a chat show like this? Isn't it incredible?
Amazing.
I've been such a megastar, so popular for years and years. No one has thought the day... Think, I wouldn't have celebrity guests. I'd have
You wouldn't need
non-entities.
them.
David just said a word then.
And then, yes, I woke up.
David, I'm sorry talking across
No, I
you
was
like
only going to
this.
say they're probably too frightened to ask.
They probably are, David. They're
Because
probably
you're-
intimidated.
Exactly. It's an untouchable figurehead of society that they would not approach.
Did you know you had an untouchable figurehead?
Well, I didn't until then, darling, but that's the only explanation I can think of, because think how many people are tuned... Well, of course, they love you, and I would be sort of the other side of the coin in a way, wouldn't I? I'm I'm saying this deliberately in the hope that I will get offers from some of the major networks, as well as LWT. I am. It would be nice, and I think I've got so much to sort of communicate. I don't need the money either.
Of course not.
Of course, that's one of
as
the-
you don't need the money, has it always been the case then that to be a megastar was a calling for you, a sense of vocation, or what?
It sort of happened. You know, when I saw you first, David Essex, and though he's not saying much, I'm referring to him quite a bit. I first saw you in that Godspell production that you were talking about. Goodness, I adored it. Little Godspell. Someone's doing a musical about me, by the way, about some of my miracles. Did you know that I performed miracles? I didn't.
I'm not at all
Called
surprised.
Edspell, the show's going to be called Edspell. It's experimental. It'll probably be in one of those little pub theatres, you know, one of those little offbeat things that you read about in Time Out after it's too late. and you know, from Pig's Nostril on Sunday nights. And it's about my miracles. The miracles I performed, I suppose, is making all sorts of different people, all shapes and sizes, laugh. To me, that's not a miracle. It's just something that I can do. It's marvellous. What a gift it is. What a lucky, lucky woman I am. And I think when I'm a little bit lonely and thinking, here I am so famous and yet I have this heartache, I think I'm here to give. I'm on the planet. I'm on the planet to give as much as I can, and what a feedback I get, don't we? It's not just the letters. You get those letters, Aspel. You get these girls fainting. And you, Claire, goodness knows what you get, darling. It's what you get back, isn't it?
Oh, yeah.
It is, because we all were. People say, aren't they lucky they're squillionaires? And I think to myself, it's a lot of hard work. It's a lot of hard work, but the pluses are so good. They could do a musical about you, couldn't they? Aspel, couldn't they? I just thought of that then.
Lovely, yes.
What do you think you might have been, and if you had not been a megastar and money means nothing? Just to give advice to other people, help them?
Yes, I do. I mean, I do help as much as I can. I think people will be ringing in, the switchboards will be jammed tonight, and they'll be saying, I was just a wretched, unhappy, sort of introverted sort of a person crawling around. And then I saw that show with the wonderful guests, whose name she now can't remember, Dame Edna, and they said, when I saw that, I just felt different. It just gave a little new dimension to living, and that's the sort of thing that cheers us all up, isn't it, when we hear that?
Well, one thing I am sure of, Dame Edna, the phone will have been ringing by now.
Of course, the switchboards, I've been told there's a man over there making a little miming that they're jammed.
That's what he was doing.
And it's a difficult thing to mime when you come to think of it.
I don't know how I can bring that round to a song, but I'm going
Are you going to sing for us, Michael?
Oddly enough, no. But I do hope... David, the song is called Falling Angels Riding. That's an interesting title. Does it have any significance?
Yes, it does. It's about two boys trying to escape their environment and taking the wrong road.
What a human interest song this is. Can I ask something?
Please.
Do you think when the show's over, David could sing it for us? Have we any time? Can they check? Can they move the news or whatever comes on? I'd love to hear you. I thought I heard a little bit of it on rehearsal this afternoon.
Ah.
And I think it's going to be another biggie for little David. My little gypsy. You've had yourself... You're fierce too. Did you have yourself done in a chemist or a store, David?
No, my uncle did this.
Your
my uncle
uncle?
Levi.
Did he use a...
With a cork and a needle.
Oh, was it sterilised, darling?
No.
Oh, your Uncle Levi did it. Did you just put your lobe on the kitchen sink and... Did you have to have a little sleeper in it?
Yeah,
Little sleeper?
No, just stuck
A stud?
Yeah, a little stud.
A stud or a sleeper? We women have had experience of one, I think. I've got a spooky old feeling I interrupted something then. Are you going to sing that little ditty of yours?
Yeah, exactly.
I've got a
That's
couple
right.
of production ideas. I should have consulted with you. I see myself as a bit of a song producer, and I had a whisper backstage, so don't be put off if a few funny old things happen during your number. That'll be Edna's production ideas. Ladies and gentlemen, without any further ado, my guests, Michael Aspel and my star tonight, yes, it is the survivor of all time, the gorgeous, well-preserved David Essex. And he's going to sing his new hit single, the biggie. Really the big one for you, I think it's going to be. What's it called again?
It's called Falling Angels Riding.
Falling Angels Riding!
And here